goodbye yesterday. You know, there's always a reason why cats like me don't have Facebook pages. Or, you know, I do have a Facebook page, but not with anything personal. There's always a reason why cats like me don't really, I go home and I go visit, but I can't really chill for long periods of time. There's always a reason why any cat who came up from nothing really has to walk away from everything he knows. And that's the main reason why is because he had to say goodbye to everything he knew in order to get to someplace new. So I always have to kind of explain this to people when they say, well, you don't have this and you don't keep in touch with everybody and you do this. When I come back home, man, I touch down, I go to my boy barbershop, chop it up with people. In fact, I might let them know I'm going to be in town. So if anybody want to catch up with me, they'll meet me at the barbershop. But I grew up in a city and in an area where, you know, people get killed. And it ain't always safe to come home. You know what I'm saying? It ain't safe to be going to get a hamburger. It ain't always safe. And so, you know what I'm saying, when I run into my peoples that I grew up with, and I still got love for them, but when I run into my peoples who, you know, I grew up with, you know what I'm saying, I chop it up with them, but you know, they always know I'm on the move. I'm ready to go over to the next spot. I'm chilling over at the beach. I'm doing something else, but I'm on the move. Now, I ain't trying to front on them. You know what I'm saying? I didn't forget where I came from, but I can't be doing dumb shit. I can't be around shit no more. You know, this is why a lot of you cats, and I'm going to put it to the microphone for you because you cats probably don't have the vocabulary to say what's really on your mind. When you run into cats who haven't been on a grind in the future, the reason why you can't hang out with them is because you moved on. You moved on past the pussy talk. You moved on past the drugs or whatever, dope or weed or whatever these motherfuckers doing now. You know what I mean? You moved on past it. So we were once two cats in the same area, two brothers coming up the same way. But one of us came up and the other stayed the same. And that's where I come up with this goodbye yesterday shit. The whole podcast, realistically, is to let you know, man, most of us say goodbye to the way things used to be. Whenever cats want to bring me back into it, want to tell me, you know, Freeman, but you grew up this way, and I understand it, but I never liked it. You know what I'm saying? I understand it, but I didn't like getting shot at. I understand it, but I didn't like getting, you know, being poor, not having no food, or not having enough money to really come up. You know, grinding from nothing is a rough shit. It ain't, you know what I'm saying? This ain't grinding from something. When I talk now, I'm grinding with money in my pocket. When I was talking then, I'm grinding from nothing. I'm doing God's work. I'm pulling magic out the hat. You understand what I'm saying? I'm going further than I need to be. I'm being in places where I shouldn't be. All trying to come up, all trying to make money to better my situation. That's hard living. So you gotta excuse me if I don't feel like revisiting that shit with motherfuckers for the rest of my life. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. I lived through it. I don't want to revisit it. The shit ain't a nightmare. The shit ain't bad. It's just uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? If a motherfucker got his knee fucking blew up in a football game and he was running and playing football again, he apprehensions about that knee. He remember the pain. He remember how it fucked up. He remember the rehab. He remember everything. So you got to excuse a motherfucker like that if he say, hey man, I don't ever want to play football again. I don't ever want to be in that situation again. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to see no knee, you know, problems on the TV. I don't want none of that shit. So since I've grown up from all that shit, the whole podcast, everything I do is to help brothers get out of it. But don't ask me why I'm not there. See, you're going to run into cats who come back into your life, your homies from way in the past. And if they didn't get on their shit and they didn't bubble and start hustling, then they still on the same shit you were on when you were in high school, when you were in college, when you left them last. You know what I mean? You done changed the whole world. I done been up, down, around town, on the plane, on the ground, homie, and I still, you know what I mean? I ain't the same dude they knew. You know what I'm saying? I look the same. I can, you know, I can jaw jack with them, kick it, break bread with them, but my mind is in a whole nother lane right now. It's not even the same anymore. So when I do dip back and catch up with cats, it's primarily reminiscing, primarily me, you know what I'm saying, running with cats who still on that pussy shit, you know what I'm saying? Ain't on the money shit, but on the pussy shit. And I don't mean pussy like, you know, weak. I mean pussy like women. You know what I'm saying? A man, like I told you, a kid's undertaking is pussy. A man's undertaking is money. When you hear a man talking about pussy too much, hopefully he's making money off the pussy talk, homie. But if he ain't making money off the pussy talk, then this motherfucker acting like a kid. So most of the time, cats say, you know, hey man, I'm catching up with you, and you know, seeing how you were doing and all that. And you know, I don't see you on Facebook and shit. And you know, everybody doing. You ain't gonna never catch me, homie. I said goodbye to yesterday when I started hustling to get the fuck out of Compton. When I started hustling to get the fuck out of being poor. I said goodbye to almost everything I knew, homie. I was in new lands with new people, new things, new trains, new planes, new automobiles, homie. I was in a whole new situation. You know what I mean? It snowed on the ground. That never happened where I grew up. It doesn't snow in Compton. You know what I mean? So I had to go and do new things. All those new things, homie, made me have a new tomorrow, a new today. I don't want an old ass fucked up yesterday. When you hear me on the rise and grind, it's because I can relate to it, homie. I understand the struggle, the strife, the pain, the setbacks, the frustration, the dumb motherfuckers, the smart people, the mistakes you made, you know what I'm saying, the opportunities you missed. I'm with you. I did all the same thing. But I don't want to go back. And that's the reason why I don't have my friends all on Facebook or all this other shit. Because it's just, I don't want to hear suffering. You see, when you come up out of nothing, homie, everybody's suffering. You ain't the only one, so I can't, make it look like I came up and everybody else was, you know what I'm saying, I was lucky. No, we all were suffering. That's why we all got along. That's why we banded together to try to get out. But in this game, only a couple of us make it out. I happen to be one. You understand what I'm saying? I happen to be the one that made it out. And you know what I'm saying? And when I get to a bigger position of being able to give back, I will. The RNG, the podcast, the books, is the things I would tell everybody in my hood how to come up. You know what I mean? I put it out there for everybody as my way of giving back. But you know what I'm saying? I can't be going back there though. You know what I'm saying? I got to go in the middle of the daytime. If y'all not from a bad neighborhood, when y'all don't understand certain shit. So when I come home, you know what I'm saying? I got to be there in the daytime, because if I get caught at night, homie, I might get killed. You dig what I'm saying? If I'm dipping down certain blocks at night, I might get killed. Don't get it twisted. I might get killed in the day fucking time, homie. Playing basketball at the park. You know what I'm saying? I might have a fight with motherfuckers I grew up with over small money. You know what I'm saying? Just all the shit that I grew up dealing with. You know what I'm saying? I'm in a different space right now, different place right now. Why would I go back just to prove what? That I'm still from the hood? I was born there, raised there, grew up there, family there. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to prove a damn thing about my life and where I come from and how hard it really was or any struggle. You know what I'm saying? My pictures are on the wall, homie. So it's nothing that I have to prove. But this is the reason why, you know what I'm saying, I'm quick to say goodbye to anything that fucks up my life and put it into yesterday. Bad people I met along the road, they yesterday. Bad decisions I made, hurry up and got over it yesterday. Women that I met yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Everything will be moved the fuck on in the pursuit of these chips, in pursuit of this better life, in the pursuit of prosperity, in the pursuit of doing for self, in the pursuit of my fucking empire. You dig what I'm saying? And I got very good at it, to the point where motherfuckers say, Freeman, you just dismiss a motherfucker if you have to. And I'm like, I don't dismiss him, man. The motherfucker dismissed himself. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna let nobody come in between what I gotta do to make it. So if that means I gotta throw the baby out with the bathwater, I'm throwing babies like a motherfucker hiking a football. You dig what I'm saying? I gotta get away from this shit. So a lot of people, man, when we move out, a lot of us who grew up hustling, a lot of us who grew up making it, you know what I'm saying? We in no man's land. You heard me say this before. Because I ain't with these middle class motherfuckers. I don't know what the hell they talking about. They on some weirdo shit. I ain't worried about joining no goddamn fraternity. I ain't worried about what's on NPR. I ain't worried about what's on CNN. You know what I'm saying? Goddamn Ferguson things and all kind of other shit. I'm watching the news like the next motherfucker, but I gotta, whether that brother died standing up, sitting down, getting choked on the ground, homie, whether they popped a little kid in Cleveland, you know what I'm saying? I gotta accept the loss like the way I grew up and say to myself, you gotta keep pushing. But do I want to revisit that shit? Do I want to have long conversations about that shit? You think I'm the motherfucker out there marching and shit? Acting like I'm fake dead on the ground and shit? Ow, 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 I can't breathe. What the fuck is going on, man? Goddamn RC theater on the ground, homie. I ain't none of them dudes. So I accept that, you know what I'm saying, I came out of a bad place. I accept that, you know what I'm saying, I can't really go back. And I'm trying to make the best out of today and the future. Now, I wanted to give you this, man, because every one of us going to go to a point where you and your homies, you haven't seen them in a while, they show back up. And you know what I'm saying, and you got to make a decision on, you know what I'm saying, do you include this cat in your hustle or do you move on? Is this cat really going to be about it? You understand what I mean? Or is he going to be someone that pulls you back? Do you have to accommodate this motherfucker because his hustle ain't good? Do you have to do a lot of shit you don't want to do because you're trying to help people? I've done it. You understand what I'm saying? And I didn't like it. I've done it, and I gave people a chance primarily because these are people that I got love for and they love me. You understand what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, it ain't no love in these chips, and I told you, and I got to be as cold to this motherfucker as Ice Cube to the game. You understand? And that means motherfuckers get sacrificed. Friends get sacrificed. People you know. Motherfuckers I know died. I can't go back there. I can't be doing all this shit. I got to keep moving forward. So this whole Goodbye Yesterday podcast, man, just to let you know that, you know what I'm saying, this is just going to happen to you, and I want you to be prepared for it. And I want you to have the right reason why you're making these decisions, homie. You know what I'm saying? One for all for one. In the beginning, it was one for all, right? In the end, it'll be all for one. All you do is for yourself. When you were coming up, it was one for all. We all tried to come up together collectively. But the money separates the motherfucker. We get out that game. We get into our own game. We get into our own lane. We get our own car, our own house, own land, own game, own angle, own clubs you want to go to, own lounges you want to do, own clothes you wear, homie. As you get your money right, as you get your situation right, you go back to being a motherfucking individual, partner. You go back to being, you know what I mean, who you really were before you had to get in this game and separate yourself and make your own lane. In the beginning, you like every other motherfucker from Compton. That's what I am when I came up. Every other cat. Oh shit, we all trying to come up. We all sitting over there politicking and shit, breaking bread, trying to come up with new angles. But my angle panned out. My angle worked. So now I sit here and, oh man, you know, motherfuckers, you know, is still doing this, but even if I offer them advice, motherfuckers don't want to take it. You know what I'm saying? Because they don't really want to go the lane I got. So I got plenty of what I want to say, POWs in it, you know what I mean, in this game. I got motherfuckers who prisoners of war to the way we grew up. Still banging, still slanging, still hustling, still trying to act like they knocking motherfuckers out. Still, you know what I'm saying, fucking ratchet bitches. It's still the same shit that the way I grew up. I'm just not that dude. In fact, I want to say goodbye to yesterday so much that if I see something that reminds me of home, I quickly dismiss it. You know what I'm saying? I don't smoke weed. If I smell weed, if I think motherfuckers smoke weed around me, I don't want to be around them motherfuckers. I barely want to be around a motherfucker with an alcoholic drink. I definitely don't want to be around a motherfucker who haven't learned how to stop tricking. You know what I'm saying? And then trying to, you know, I met this girl and you know she live in the hood and blah, 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 but she give good head. I don't want to hear them stories, homie. I'm trying to get the best of the best of the best in this game, man. That's why I got in the new lane and got out of there. You know what I'm saying? But it's always going to be an excuse to mother, oh man, you know, Freeman, you selling out. Hey man, I gotta make the Freeman family survive. When we were all coming up, I never, you know what I'm saying, broke rank from any motherfucker. We all went out together. We all gonna come up together. But as I had to do my own thing, you know what I'm saying, motherfuckers didn't want to come. Now since I'm reasonably successful, oh man, Freeman, you should have did this. You should have told me. Motherfuckers knew when we were 17, 16, I was sitting there trying to explain, man, you should just come with me to college, homie. I mean, we could cheat our way through that motherfucker, man. You know what I mean? I didn't give a fuck about those degrees. We could cheat our way through this. Sit next to me on the way up, homie. I understand it. We gonna cheat our way through it. Even if all we got is motherfucking C minuses all the way through college, we gonna get out this motherfucker and get our chips right. But nobody wants to roll. Some of you cats are in the Army and in the Air Force and all this other shit, and I'm sure you had some homies who said, hey man, just roll with me. We can go in together. We can come up together. We can do this shit together. And then they left your ass at the recruiter by yourself. You know what I'm saying? And now when you come home, homie, they doing way bad. And now they telling you, you know, hobo stories. I wish I would have went there. I wish I would have caught the back of that train that took me over to Chattanooga. They telling you hobo stories, homie. You dig what I'm saying? So I just want you to know, man, that when I say goodbye yesterday, it sound harsh because, you know what I'm saying, it sound like I'm mad at a motherfucker. But, you know, growth, and I told you, this chip game is the greatest separator of all time. It separates the rich from the poor, the evil from the just. It does a whole bunch of separating, the tall from the small, the thick from the thin. You know what I mean? It separates a whole bunch of shit that you didn't know money was going to bring to you. And now you become more and more and more different than anybody you know because the money allows you to make better choices. You know, I don't eat so-and-so. I eat free-range chicken. I eat organic leaves. Man, we didn't eat none of that shit in Compton. If the Mexican homies had it from their backyard, it was organic. You know what I'm saying? If the Mexican homies got it from wherever they got the oranges from, it was organic. We were eating organic before the rest of the motherfuckers in the world caught up with it. We were eating our shit straight from the vine. This is in the middle of Compton. I was eating grapes straight from the motherfucking vine, homie. You know what I mean? So it's all kind of shit that will change. But now I gotta, hey, I don't go there. I go to Trader Joe's, and I don't go there. I go to Whole Foods. Shit, homie. I'm still at Vons. I'm still at Safeway. I'm still at Kroger. I just want an apple, homie. I didn't know that motherfuckers made poor people apples and rich people apples. So the only thing I still got in common with most motherfuckers is I still eat the same basic diet that I ate back home, but it was still fruit. You know what I'm saying? No veggies, but fruit. But I want you to understand this about coming up and moving forward in life, homie. You gotta make decisions. And those decisions, if you come from a bad area, means that you gotta really walk away from all that you know. You gotta walk away from the way motherfuckers talk, the way people think. You know what I'm saying? My mama said that if my hand itch, that means I'm gonna get some money. You gotta walk away from all that black voodoo and folklore that motherfuckers be coming up with. If my neck itch, that means that it's gonna be a car crash. What? Where do you get that from? I mean, you gotta walk away from all. My mama said that if you braid my hair too tight, that I'm gonna lose all my hair in the front, and I'm gonna have a 4 head and a 5 head and maybe a 6 head in this game. You gotta walk away from all kinds of dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? You gotta learn to brush your teeth every day if you haven't been doing that. Get some mouthwash, gargle a little bit, homie. Go to the dentist, you can afford it. You know what I'm saying? Go to the doctor, you can afford it. So why would I want to go back to the way things used to be for the sake of reminiscing? All I see about it for a motherfucker that came up trying to make money, all I see from this shit is pain. And just setback after setback. And it's been a long ass life of me fighting not to be in that shit. So when a motherfucker I haven't seen in a long time bring that shit back to me and want to be around me. Hey, Freeman, yeah, remember when, hey man, I'm getting tired of talking about, let's talk about what we gonna do. I ain't Al Bundy in this game, homie. I don't sit there and remember what I used to do in high school, homie. I'm gonna tell you what I just got finished doing 2 weeks ago. Cause I'm still on the move. I'm still juking motherfuckers. I'm still busting through tackles, homie. I'm still doing the same thing I was doing back then. Just with chips in my pocket. And now I can see the end. I see the millions, homie. I see the way we want to live. And now I'm gonna punch these motherfuckers until I get through this game. You see what I'm saying? But don't be afraid to say goodbye to yesterday, homie. And that includes motherfuckers, and like I said, you can't. If a motherfucker don't got the knack, this is the tragedy of coming up poor. I grew up with plenty of motherfuckers who got the knack. They didn't have the information and the opportunity. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the smartest one, but I kept trying to find opportunity. I'm the motherfucker that caught the bus to downtown. I'm the motherfucker that caught the bus to Beverly Hills. I'm the motherfucker that caught the bus to Malibu. And I wanted to see what this shit looked like, even though I'm poor and only had $2 in my pocket. I was out there trying to see what the fuck does rich look like. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got a McDonald's and shit, whether I'm in Beverly Hills or not. You know what I'm saying? So I still can always get some chicken McNuggets. Nobody told me I gotta eat filet mignon. You know what I'm saying? And of course I stand out. I'm a poor motherfuckers with Chucks or something on and some Dickies walking through Beverly Hills. Yeah, I ain't the cleanest looking dude, but I was trying to find where the money is. So I wanted to make sure you understood this shit, man. We always saying goodbye to yesterday if yesterday wasn't good enough. You know what I'm saying? For you cats who didn't grow up this way, then yeah, you can go home. I don't have a home to go to. I didn't have a family house. I had an apartment. You understand what I'm saying? I don't have a car. I don't have all this shit like my block. If I go back to where I grew up, there's nothing for me there. Nobody, my family don't live there. What am I going to do? Sit in the front and hope some motherfuckers don't drive by and kill me? Chop it up with people and hope that nothing happened to me? You know what I'm saying? So I have to say goodbye to yesterday, even to motherfuckers I knew from college and things like that, because if you're not moving forward, homie, I gotta keep moving. You know what I'm saying? I can't help you get out of your situation, man. I really can't. It's not like I'm sitting here 10 billion strong saying, here, man, just go a house, go ahead and get right. I can't get you right. You gotta get right, homie. So I wanted to end this shit by letting you know one thing, man. Say goodbye to yesterday every time you have to deal with this shit, and be quick about it. And don't feel sorry about it. You know what I'm saying? Out of every generation of people, out of every group, there's a motherfucker that comes out of the midst of the dirt, the shit, and he creates something for himself, and he shows other people what life could be. Hopefully I'm that dude, but if not, hopefully I inspired the dude that will be him. You had to dig what I'm saying? Next time, partner.